Welcome to Matrix Care Learnings for housekeeping. Today we're going to learn how to set up your facility with housekeeping tasks under the EMR and the CareAssist so that your housekeepers can now start documenting through CareAssist. We need to start by going into our Elite side, and under the Facility tab for your facility, you want to click Facility, and then you want to click EMR Work List Setup. It's on the left-hand side. This work list setup is where we start having all the staff assign into their assignments. So you'll have to decide what you want your work list to be called, how many work lists you need for each area. And for example, we have our CareAssist work list. This is one that we never touch. This is, you'll see it in every facility. That just houses the mainframe of all CareAssist. The next ones that you'll see are each assignment. So these are for the RA is for the East Hall. They already have one housekeeping for the East Hall. They have nurse-only administrations. They have a South Hall and a West Hall. We can edit what we already have by looking at this blue hyperlink called Edit. There are two different hyperlinks right next to each other, so it's important that you just click on Edit and not History. When you click on Edit, you'll see that the East Hall, and maybe this unit needs to be called East Hall so that this housekeeper knows that her duties are for housekeeping East Hall. There's a little blue triangle on the left side of each unit that houses each room in each area. So for some, your independent living, you may have only one huge unit. Others have multiple units. It just depends how we configured it. You do want it selectable in the CareAssist EMR. That's important to check that. And then the only flow sheet we want them to see is the housekeeping flow sheet. So it's important that we only check this. If you don't have a flow sheet called housekeeping, please let Linda Johnson know and I will set you up with the housekeeping flow sheet. We need to put in a start date and time and then hit save. Again, for an example, we could add another work list and maybe we're going to call this housekeeping West Hall. And maybe I'm going to have 4 housekeepers every day. I can either click here for every single room, or again, I can decide how many rooms I want assigned to this work list. We are going to select it for CareAssist EMR. We're going to pick housekeeping for the only flow sheet. And we're going to have it start tomorrow at 7 a.m. So now we have our 2 housekeeping units. We may have down the road to edit this. We can always hit East and call it North Hallway, and we can add rooms to it. Oh, we cannot use this, so we have to use this. You do have character limits also, so please note that. So now we have housekeeping East North Hall, and maybe this other housekeeping is the West and the South Hall. So you see, you can continue to add, change, whatever it is, your unit list. So as your residents change, as you admit or discharge people, you probably keep the core the same. If there's nobody in the room, there's no assignment that will show up for them. Step 2 is actually putting in an order under each resident. So now we're going to go under resident. We're going to search resident. And we're going to go into each resident that we find. So we have Fred. And then once we're on Fred, we're going to go to resident and then orders. To start a new order, you have to add an order. And this will be a general order because it's not a prescription. And you can just hit next. You do not need an associated event. What you want to type here is housekeeping. You want to select how often you want it. You do not need a discipline here. You can skip that. Doesn't hurt if you put one, but you don't need one. I'm going to assume this is a weekly. I may not have weekly in the, this will be for my, every evening, every shift, every 4 hours, 3 times. Well, that's funny. So on Fred's orders, we're going to add an order. General, no associated event. We're going to type in the order description, which is housekeeping. You may want to put 30 minutes if that's what your intent is. You don't have to put it there. Our frequency, I don't have a weekly, but we're going to pick monthly for now. And then we'll just put weekly here. Oh, that's not going to work. So we can repeat 4 times a month. Then what you want to type, you will have weekly in your setup, but then we're going to type dust, vacuum, mop, floors. You're going to put your details of in your special instructions. Clean toilets. So you want to make it, you can make it the same for everybody. You can make it a little bit different, but go ahead and you decide. The important thing here is to change this to a nursing order. It will then bring up who made the order. And then the flow sheet is the most important. And that's going to be the housekeeping flow sheet. That's where it's going to come over to CareAssist. I sometimes do all the rooms at once, all the residents, and then I copy and paste my special instructions and I just keep putting them in one at a time. You're going to hit next. It's going to confirm the order. It's going to let you review the order. And at that moment, you can save it. You'll now see that he has a housekeeping here. This one is once a day. This one is every 4 times a month. So as we practice, we just keep putting them in. So you'll do that for each and every resident. Now I'm going to show you what it's going to look like for their work area. You're going to open a new tab and we're going to go open up CareAssist. We're going to go ahead and log in. And as I log in, you're going to see that I have a training site here. I'm going to go into my training site and I'm going to want to use an EMR work list. All staff should use an EMR work list because it depicts then what they can see. If I'm the housekeeper, you see now I can only see housekeeping on the East Hall, East North Hall. My other one isn't set to activate till tomorrow. If I'm a housekeeper, I'm going to sign in on this EMR work list of housekeeping. When they train, they will train that all their residents that are under that hallway that they will be assigned to will show up. They will start using their EMAR and then EMAR tasks. And you'll see here who's late, which is no one is due today, I apologize. Due is blue, late is pink. So I have a few late housekeepings, but you'll notice this flow sheet, all they can see is housekeeping. They can't see any meds, they can't accidentally chart on meds. They're under their work list and that's all they will see are those orders. So under Fred, and here's his housekeeping, we needed to clean his apartment and vacuum the rugs and clean the bathroom. When they're done with their housekeeping, they're gonna hit prep. They're gonna hit given. If it's late, they're gonna chart why it was late. And then they complete it. And that will now be done as a completed charting. They're gonna hit see Jane, and again, they can do the same thing. They can do given. They can write resident was unavailable before. You see, then it doesn't force charting. And they'll just chart until they're all completed with all their rooms. So you see, it's very easy. But you'll also notice that when we complete it, how the number goes down. I have 3 rooms left to clean, but they have a whole shift to do it. We don't assign the times in the orders for a certain time. So again, we have that order and we edit it under the time. I can make it for the whole shift. So we want it to show up from 7 to 3. You can do a custom. So if your shift is maybe 9 to 5, you can do a custom range. Make sure it's housekeeping, nursing order. Order source doesn't matter. So again, they will chart, given, done, and complete. So now we have a due one that came, and you'll see that if I just want to see who's due, Fred is due today from the new order that we did. We changed it from 9 to 5. So it instantly goes over. You can also do things for one day. So I can put in orders if I want a certain room cleaned that's tied to a resident. I can tie it for one day. I would just put a stop date in. So after they're done charting and they've completed all their tasks, then they take off their filter and they have all their residents here, but they have nothing due on their filters. Under tasks and resident tasks, we will train them that they could do extra items. So if they did extra laundry or housekeeping, most of the time, this is where your housekeepers will chart extra. They would chart here. They would write complete and they would write how many minutes they were in there, and they could just write extra cleaning. And they always start with the word extra and then their task. And they can write what they do. So basically they'll go from the EMAR tasks and over to tasks if they had anything extra. Again, under the orders, if we have that order open and we want to edit that order again, I could change any descriptions I could add to it, or I could make it just for the day. I could have it be one time, I think is one time, and then it'll only show up for that date and time that we pick. So if I wanted to start tomorrow and I want it to be the 19th, and maybe they just have a special occasion coming and they requested extra. Or maybe it's a shampoo. So it's just a one-time deal, and you can put it for the shift again, or make it custom. And this would be just a one-time shampoo to the housekeepers, and they would know that they would have to do that tomorrow. Again, they would click on their name to log off. They could change their assignment and go into the other housekeeping assignment. If they were now short-staffed and needed to go to the other hallway, then they could switch to the new hallway. Running reports for housekeeping is pretty simple under the facility reports. And you would use your EMAR reporting tools. So you would go into administrative compliance or facility administration history, and you can do these two. And it's just about seeing what report works best for your facility. But I could go in and I could put in my dates, and I could say all or any, and I could just look at that flow sheet for housekeeping. And then I'm going to run a report. Oh. See if that'll work. And then you'll see on your history of your report for Ruth, they didn't document her days, and it was supposed to be the 30th, the 6th, and the 13th. And then you would go to the next resident, and you would see that hers was not documented. Let's see if we have any documentation. Sometimes I document a little bit and we get some of these done. But we haven't used the practice site for a while. Oh, there's one. So you can see it was done on the 30th for Tuesday that I cleaned the lawn, or I did the housekeeping for Fred. So that's what it would look like. If there's any comments or reasons, it will tell you also what the comments and reasons were if we did put anything in. So these are a nice little fast report to read. Again, under facility reports, I think there's administration history, compliance. So if you have missed charting, you could run your compliance report. I believe you can do it for the flow sheets. I'm not positive. If there's refusals. So let's just see if that's, I'm not sure if you can toggle that down to flow sheets or not. But again, you can see there's lots of things. It doesn't look like you can toggle that down to one flow sheet. So you might have to just look at one person if you're looking for something in particular. So again, thank you very much for joining. As always, if you have questions or you need assistance with setting up your housekeepers, please contact me, Linda Johnson. I am more than happy to help with anything I can setting up your facility. We look forward to working together. Thank you.